Hola, Mujerones. Welcome back to the Mujerón podcast. I am super excited. And I know I say I'm excited every single episode, but it's just the women that we have on this podcast. My goodness, I am so honored to have today a very special guest, someone that is representing us really, really well in a very new show. I know you guys have heard of Alma's Way. She is the voice of Tia Gloria, and that is Sharon Montero. She goes by La Loca. And today she's going to talk to us about mindset and just all the work that she has done to get to where she is today. Sharon, thank you so much for being here today with us. I am so grateful to have you on the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Y buenos días, buenos días, buenos días, buenos días, buenos días, buenos días. Buenos días, mi gente. Good day, darling. Hi.
I love your
Love it.
energy. I feel like I need a little bit of that in my life, especially right now after 2 months of into motherhood. My
Ay.
God, this is tough, but I just want today. I know you're gonna pour into our cups, and I'm super
Yes.
excited to really get to know you and your journey. And I know you have a very special story. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and how excited are you to be Tia Gloria on Alma's Way?
First, I gotta say, the excitement for Tia Gloria is ridiculous. Like, who would have ever thunk that they would have been first, not even just being a voice of a cartoon. I mean, we all have that dream. We watch a cartoon and we're like, yo voy a estar en esa televisión, no te preocupes, mami, yo voy a estar haciendo dinero. Pero the person that I'm working for is la mujer que I think most of all of us growing up in the 40s, yo soy 40, 42, pero growing up and watching her teach us our ABCs, our one, two, threes, lo bueno y lo malo, they're making decisions. Maria, to work for her now, it's a dream. It's a dream for me. And so I think that's bigger than anything that I've ever done, because it's almost like I don't like to say idol, but she's an idol. She's an icon. Let's take that. A Latina icon who is just like me, speaks Spanglish, because my Spanish is no very good looking. And if you hear Sonia Manzano speak, oh, we are twins. We get afraid. We revert back to English. Y vamos para atrás para español. So I think that's the biggest thing of playing Tia Gloria. Pero this little girl, right? Esta mujer que tú tienes delante de ti, I was born in Boston, raised in Perth Amboy, New Jersey, which is Little Quisqueya. In Jersey, that's Little Dominican Republic. I got two beautiful parents who are amazing. I get my drive from my dad, and I think I get my personality from both of them, but my drive and my athleticism, and I could do everything, and you don't have to worry about nothing. I got it taken care of. From my father, the middle child of three, two boys, and just me. So I'm tough. No te pongas conmigo. No, I'm kidding. And I've been before Tia Gloria. I've been a radio personality, in and out for the last now 18, 19 years. So I've been doing this for a while. It's a dream that I've been wanting to do since I was a child. Going out to New York and trying to be on TRL, making it on TRL, and going to school in New York, leaving, going to Tampa to start it, and then saying, I'm going to come back to Nueva York. No te preocupes, mami. Yo voy para atrás para Nueva York. I'm going to leave you here, but I'm going to go. And everything that I set out, I have accomplished. So that's who you have in front of you. That plays Tia Gloria, your big sister on PBS Kids.
That's amazing. And like you said, this has been a journey, right? Years and years in the making of really landing something of this magnitude. And honestly, like to represent Latinas all around. And I want you today to kind of tell us a little bit about like the work, inner work, mindset work, that work that you really had to do in order to not give up. Because I feel like a lot of times on the podcast, we talk about, going out for your goals and really setting out for those dreams. And a lot of times it's so many closed doors. Ooh. How do you, stand tall and keep going after all of these no's and finally get to a place where you feel like all your hard work has truly been for all of that, the things that you have today?
Yeah. Well, mira, for me, this journey, just like many of anybody that does any type of career, if it's from a doctor, a nurse, even though a ustedes le tienen trabajo por toda parte. My mom's a nurse, so there's always work for you. But for the entertainment business, I'll speak for myself. The doors close in la cara tuya right when you sign the contract. Like I said, it's almost 20 years. And I could tell you, I have lost my job, fired, restructuring, or budget cuts, whatever, 8, 9 times. And
Mm.
in the first one, yo creía que eso que that was it. No more for me because they wasn't gonna hire me. It was just an ugly ass departure. Pero when I tell you, I think growing up, I was always in Catholic school, but I never really had a relationship con Dios. I mean, I went to church, fui a los retiros como todo el mundo. I went to retreats, but I wasn't really like that girl that had a relationship with God. I knew he was there, and there was little peaks where I was like, oh, este hombre me está hablando. If it's a woman or a man, una piedra or a bush, whatever it is for you. Pero para mí, growing up, I was told it was a man. And I consider him a hombre arriba. So I would have little conversations. But when I really got into this business, which if you really hear the religion, a lot of times radio is, if it's not Christian music, we're more of the bad side of
Mm.
the entertainment business. It's bad. So I always was like, okay, I'm getting into a business where guys not gonna like it. So I was like, oh, I'm doomed. I'm doomed. But when I got into it, I felt like my relationship with him got better, and he guided me throughout the whole thing. And in my mindset, after the first time I lost my job, it was like, pon la mano para arriba y lo que Dios diga, Dios diga. And
Mm.
that's what always had me going, siempre. Because no matter when I lose my job, when I had lost my job, había otro trabajo, not in radio. It was always like another job to get me going till the next job, till I got back on the radio. So when I lost my first time, trabajé con MLB. Like I always kept a nice little side gig going until I got back on the radio because it was a burning feeling in el corazón mío. Like the mindset, it's hard to explain because it's more of a feeling, like it's in your heart. It's a burning feeling where you can't give up. Like it was every time you tried to give up, it was almost like God was like, no, aquí va otra puerta que te va a abrir. Here goes another job. All
Mm.
right. You lose it. No te preocupes, mi hija. I got you with something else. Boom. He gets me a job. I hated it. Cleaning dog shit. Sorry. I'm sorry. Cleaning dog poop and pulling ticks out of dogs. And I was doing that for a good 4 months. And mind you, I was when I was doing radio, I was interviewing everybody. Kanye West, Beyonce, those big names. I was doing it straight out the gate. Y cuando lo perdí, sentándome con perro y sacándole la garrapatas, how we say, I think that was one of the lowest moments because I was like, oh my God, is this where my life is coming to? Like I remember sitting
Mm.
3 days before Christmas in this little cage with a Rottweiler. I had just finished cleaning his floor. Él se sentó, yo me senté. Nobody was there. And I just cried, cried, cried. I had picked up his poop, still had it in my hand. And I was crying and crying like, I can't be. I've always wanted to do entertainment. And this is where I'm leaving, where my life is going to, which is not a bad job. It's very humbling and rewarding because the dogs can't talk, but that moment is where like I was like, okay, God, if I want to do this for the rest of my life, make it happen, make it happen. And he did. And that was and again, that was another part of my mindset. Like, yo, you can't give up. You
Mm.
went through all these firings, um not having no money because este trabajo no hay dinero. In entertainment, there's no money.
Mm.
So you're not doing it for money. You're doing it because you love it. So from that moment to now, every time I lost my job, like I said, I would pray, I would get outside, I would talk to people, I would walk in the outdoors, I would keep applying, but I kept applying for radio and other jobs. And so the funny thing is, as I got into Tia Gloria, the day I lost my job, which was February 16th, 2019, um, as I do every time to keep myself going. Here in New York, we have this thing called Central Casting Networks, which is everywhere. So if you ever want to do background for movies and TVs, you go on casting networks or casting networks, and they show you all these openings. So ese día when I lost my job, I said, well, aquí vamos Dios otra vez. I'm going to apply. Let's see, do some background, make some money. And then cuando tú me abres la otra puerta, méteme para allá. So that night I went to that website and I saw that they were casting for someone to play an aunt on a cartoon. That same day I lost my job, I apply. And then the next day I was asked to resubmit another audio. And then the next day, another audio. And then the day after that, they were like, hey, what equipment do you have? This microphone, I didn't have it. Esta luz, I didn't have it. Pero when I tell you, something told me adentro del corazón was like, dile que tú lo tienes. Just say you got it. Google everything you need. If they ask you, do you have stuff? You just say, yeah, I have all this. And I gave them a list of everything. And then all of a sudden they asked me for everything. I told them, didn't speak to nobody. I cried because we're in a pandemic. I ain't got no work, no money. Then all of a sudden the stimulus checks came through. And I bought everything and I was waiting. And for my birthday, I got called that I got the job and then I landed it. So, like my mindset was never just to give up and, let God take care of it because he never lets me down.
So I want to ask you two things from what we just talked about. First, when you were cleaning the dog poop, like what was the biggest lesson you got out of that? Because I feel like a lot of times we talk about these moments, right, where we're like deep down in probably the worst place in our lives. But what do you think is like the biggest lesson you got out of that experience?
From cleaning dog poop, make sure you double bag yourself when you're cleaning it. And I didn't have a dog, so at that time I was like, I don't know what the hell. But I mean, it was just you can't get any lower than this. Like for me, everybody got their low moment, but for me, I was like, yo, I'm cleaning poop. Yeah. Like, what else can you be doing? So for me, I think it was just I can't get any lower. So keep throwing things at the wall. You're going up. Ya tú estás aquí. The rest is just para arriba, para arriba, para arriba. Just stay focused. Déjaselo again en la mano de Dios. Again, that's my belief. And just keep going. And I'm fine. And I learned, when you're going to pull a tick out of a dog's body, tú tienes que twist it. And then quemarlo si puede, pero twist it out and make sure you get all of it because the dog gets sick.
I love it. We have mindset learning and also and the double bag.
That double bag it.
And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, when you say like the mindset part, it's just like it's again, it's like almost your mind automatically, it's again as a burning feeling in your heart. So your mind automatically just says, don't give up. That's it. Like that. And I think that's for anybody. When your back is up against the wall, it's just like, you can't give up. You have stuff to take care of. You got to feed yourself or your family. Tú tienes hambre, tienes bile, or whatever it is. So you can't give up. Like it's not even a mindset. It's more of a feeling. Like you can't, your heart burns for it. It yearns for it.
Yeah. I love
like
that.
Your children, like you have is it a girl?
A boy, yes.
A little boy, like anything for that little boy. You won't, it's not your mind is mommy. That's fine. Pero your corazón is like, yo, I got to make things happen. This little boy tiene que tener la comida, tiene que tener un roof over his head. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same. Like my jobs, my career, is my baby. Because I don't have any children. I hate when people said that, but now I understand. Like I don't have anything else. So I want to continue on. I love to talk. I love to entertain. I love to bring joy to everybody's life. So I can't stop doing that. And a dog, they take you even if you're not nice. So that was nothing for me.
No, and you're great at it. And I feel like one of the things that really stood out from your story is like how you continue to apply, right? And continue to put yourself out there. And I think a lot of times we pass up opportunities just because we don't send that application. just because
Mhm.
we don't believe that, I could be, like you, Tia Gloria, on this show. Like if you would have thought, no, maybe not, and you wouldn't have applied, you would have never gotten this opportunity. How have you been able to just go out there and fill it out and not let some opportunities pass? And if you have passed some,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
how have you been able to now, switch that up?
Yeah, well, sometimes you can't force things. Because I was just, you mentioned there was many times I've let jobs go by. I never applied for it because I would find an excuse, un complejo of they're not gonna pay me enough, or yo no quiero mudarme para allá. But a lot of times it was just I was afraid, because I just didn't want to put myself out there and get a no, right? So, but that wasn't I feel for me at the time, or right now I say, it wasn't that I was not confident in myself. It was just for me, I feel like it wasn't meant for me to be there. It wasn't destined for me to be there because as soon as I didn't take that opportunity, something else opened. And so a lot of times that's the mindset for me. Oh, I missed it, or I thought I wasn't confident, but I was. I just something else was meant for me. Like, and I laugh and I sit there and I talk to God. I'm like, Diablo, I, I know you wouldn't say that to God, but that's my relationship with him. I'm like, there was a job recently that I wanted to go for. Because Tia Gloria is a great paying job, but it's not a steady job. I'm not Alma. I'm just one of those that pop in and pop out. So I'm still looking for work. So I wanted to apply for another job with another company, not cartoon, completely out of my field until I could get back into radio. So something was like, "Oh, you'll never get it. Déjalo, 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 déjalo." And I was like, "No, I want to do it." Like I'm having conversations with myself a lot of times. Um, and I didn't do it. I said, "Oh, está bien, yo no lo voy a hacer." And then all of a sudden, the same position opened up with another company. And then I said, "Ponlo ahí, put your name in there. You're gonna get this one." And I'm like, but again, having a conversation with myself, but I just was gonna apply with this other company, pero ustedes dijeron que, and all of a sudden I ended up getting the job
Wow.
that with the other company, and it was easier. And mind you, I mean, the job is up in everywhere with this type of position. It's open everywhere. But this one job was super easy. I applied. A week later, me llamaron. We like to interview with you. I went in. I do my drug test. Maybe 3-4 weeks in between them all. Drug test y todo eso, and then I start next week. So I'm kind of happy, and it's not in radio, but I know that my radio job is coming. I know it's about to happen. I just no sé a dónde, I don't know, whatever, but I know that this job is going to help me for the next one.
I love that. We're
And
putting
I'm
it out
excited.
there into the
Oh, yes.
universe.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
I think you make such a great point, because a lot of times we have to do work that might not be the ultimate goal, right? But
Mhm.
that's going to help us get to the next step. And I feel like that's a big reason why I wanted to ask you about, like, putting your name out there and just applying for things. And I love the way that you're talking about it, because I think a lot of times, even after we pass up these opportunities, we're kind of hard on ourselves. But maybe even giving that perspective of like, hey, you know what, that wasn't meant for you,
Sure enough.
and
But
moving on and like putting your name on something else.
hell yeah, because you know what? You can't be hard on yourself. You have everybody else around you pointing out que tú perdiste ese trabajo que estaba bueno porque tú te pusiste a hablar, or tú estaba vaga, or you got everybody telling you all your negatives. You don't need to be more negative on yourself. Just let that thing go. Lo que es para ti, nadie te lo puede quitar. I hated that saying when I was younger, pero right now, I'm one that truly believes it. What's yours can nobody take. Like, hold on, let me before this Tia Gloria. Again, they have to show you how awesome God is to me. When I again was working my first full-time job on the radio, afternoons, very, very, very prestigious position. Afternoons, after mornings, everybody's all on their way home. So I'm like, okay, I'm with the number one DJ. I'm going to be matatándolo. I did it for a couple of months, end up losing my job. Disagreement, lo que pasó, pasó. So in between losing that job, and I got back on the radio, I had always wanted to travel with my brother. I said, me and my brother are going to travel the world and we're going to do television together. So I saw that they were casting for a reality show. So I told my brother, I had told a friend of mine that worked with me at that radio station, hey, let's go audition for this TV show. We'll go to Miami, we'll audition and we'll get it. And he was like, I bet. All of a sudden, 2 days prior, and I mind you, at the same time I told him, I had told my brother. And the guy 2 days prior said, I can't go. So I said, oh, damn it. What am I going to do? Told my brother, yo, Wilson, you said you're really going to go? He's like, yo, I'm going. I have been always asking my brother to go to auditions. He finally said yes. We drove to Miami. I have no job, no money. Estoy ahí sin dinero. Tengo hambre. My brother my younger brother had money. He was there with his girl. Not a lot of money, but he had like a little bread to buy food.
Yeah.
So we go, we're the first ones in line. We go in, we take pictures with this other Latin right before this whole YouTube thing popped off. They had a YouTube channel. So these it was pink something. They had pink wigs. We were taking pictures of them. We were talking to them. They were like, wow, you guys are here first. On this song, we told them the spiel. Then we get inside. We audition. We were walking out. Mind you, I'm a talker. My he's a talker too. He's in the entertainment business now. And he was talking and I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I just was so passionate because I was like, I want to get this, but boy, you messing up this audition. A la misma vez. I'm doing it in front of these people. And they go to us, we walk away. I was like, okay, I'm standing there nervous. And they were like, all right, thanks for coming out. Bye. I was like, all right, I guess we didn't get it. And we go and we take a turn and it was at the Hard Rock. A guy comes and runs behind us that he was like, oh my God, we really loved you guys. Would you guys come back for an audition on such and such date? My brother was like, yeah. And I was like, hell yeah. We went back home, which was like 4 or 5 hours away. And then we came back, did an audition, then, went back home. Then we got called for like 4 or 5 Zooms, or it wasn't Zoom, it was Skype at the time. And then we ended up getting casted we flew to LA, came home, and then we got casted for a reality show on NBC, which was called Escape Routes.
Wow.
So, again, it was like, I threw something out there, I took a chance, and then I got it. But again, it was in between, and I didn't lose focus on what it was. It's radio first, pero let's try to see a little something else. And I did it. And, it's just, I just throw myself out there. I'm just not afraid. Just have fun. You got nothing else to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway. Like, you literally have nothing to lose. And I think sometimes we overthink it, right? And we like have all these scenarios of what can go wrong. But in reality, you could literally stay in the same place you're at. And, sometimes, the taking that no can actually bring you a better opportunity.
Hell yeah. And sometimes you don't even get the no, but that's the best thing. You don't get rejected. So you're still up there, but you keep just applying. You just got to keep going. Just throw it and do and try things that you wouldn't even think you were able to get the job. Like I never thought I would do a reality show. I never thought I would work for MLB. I never thought I would work right now where I'm gonna work, or do all the radio jobs, or Tia Gloria. You just gotta. Tú tienes nada que perder. Just say, God, si esto para mí, dámelo. Si no, sigue para adelante. And that's it. That's my always been my saying. Dios, si es para mí, dámelo. Si no, sigue para adelante.
I love that. I love that. Coming from a Latino family, you talked a little bit about like the things that you were taught by your parents and like the characteristics that you got from there. What would you say is like the biggest thing that you carry with you as far as like maybe a lesson or something that you saw your parents always do that now you carry with you and you always just want to do the same?
The thing first, my father is saying ojo pelado, siempre tiene el ojo pelado, because you always got to see what's around you. And then cuenta e corriente. Cuando le cuente corriente, then you just go there, which is like just find somebody's rhythm, find somebody's way, and then you'll be able to work with them, and you'll be able to work with anybody. So that's one thing with work. But with my parents, it was more like just seeing my father by any means bringing money home legally. Yeah. Everybody knows how sometimes to bring home illegal money, pero legally, my father, he wasn't embarrassed to work. He would again wash cars. If I was his female version, that picking tick and what and cleaning dog stuff, it was something that he would do easily and proudly because he was bringing home money for his family.
Hmm.
So that's one thing. And my father even brought it to my attention one time. He was just like, yo, one thing I admire about you is that you never stop. And it reminds, he says, it reminded me of me. And it does, because I just always think about him. Like, he doesn't give up. He brings home money. He always, he finds a way to make sure everybody's well taken care of. And it always worked out well for him. So that's something I get from him. And
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And I feel like a lot of times now, don't you think back to like los dichos and the things that they would say, and you're like, they were
they
on
were
to
right.
something.
I'm telling you, I hated it when I was young. The ojo pelado, because he'd be like dropping us off at school. Ojo pelado, tú nunca sabes. And now I'm like, I tell my boyfriend, ojo pelado, tú nunca sabes. And I even do the eye, my father does this. And I still do it anytime I say, I'm like, ojo pelado. And and what was some other sayings my dad would say? I'm drawing a blank, but if I could probably ask my boyfriend, he'd be like, yo, he says this and this and this because you say it to me all the time. So, I mean, as much as we try to not be like our parents, we are them.
Yeah,
90,
totally.
90% of the way.
So, Sharon, before we go, I have to ask La Loca, how did you choose that name?
I didn't choose it. I didn't choose La Loca. I just threw it out there on when I was gonna join a radio station. They were first calling me just regular Sharon, and then I had a chip tooth at the time at another station that I was working at. They called me Mike Tyson. I clearly didn't like that, but I was gonna go work. I was gonna go work at a station that I was gonna really be on. And so the guy was like, "What are we gonna call you?" I said, "Jersey Red," because I'm from Jersey, and because of my skin tone in Florida, they call you a red bone. So I was like, Jersey Red. He said, no. I said, okay. Red bone. No. I said, okay. I was like, my friends call me Loca, and they don't really call me Loca, but Latinas, we all call each other Loca. Loca, ven pa' acá. Loca, tú sí eres una bonchichera. But that's like endearment. So I said, La Loca. And he said, we got La Loca here. And that was it. That was the birth of it. It was nothing really spectacular.
I like it though. It's
Oh,
like,
I love it.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, because we're all crazy. Crazy for wanting to go after our dreams, crazy to have kids, crazy to get married, crazy for this, crazy is normal. So that's why I was like, okay, La Loca's fine. That's me. I'm normal now.
Yes, I love that. I love it so much. Tell us more about where we can find you and what's next for you and how we can support you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram. It's La Loca, ITSLALOCA. You can find me on YouTube. It's La Loca TV. You can find me vlogging, back to vlogging. I gave it up for a little bit because it was just, when you're younger, in your 20s and 30s, you could put your life out there. The repercussion is nothing. But as you get older, sometimes you want to cherish the things that you have around you. Like my boyfriend, I never show his face. That's just something that I've just learned, that I just want to keep him to me. It's not that I don't think he's ugly, because the man is fine. It's not that I'm with somebody else. It's just that's I'm learning to cherish the people and the things. So, but now I want to get back into the YouTube and really show everybody again the journey, because I'm like an open book. I never hide anything. I like to people to see that I'll have money one day and have no money the other day, or I'm working here and I'm not working there. I just want you to at least see that there's someone just like you, Latina, con los cabellos malos sometimes, y los cabellos bueno, with eyebrows and no eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? We all the same. And I want you just to be able to live through me. So that's why I have my YouTube. So I'm going to bring it back. So follow me on YouTube. And then, Tia Gloria, until I'm back on the radio, hopefully in Nueva York. Otra vez. Ay, gracias a Dios.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to soon see my new job, which is going to be hella fun. I can't wait.
Can't wait to see it. Thank you so much, Sharon, for joining us, for pouring into our cup, for inspiring us to keep going after our dreams. We're sending you all the positive vibes, and I know that you're going to do great and you're going to continue representing all the Latinas in such an amazing way that you're already doing. Gracias for being here today.
Oh, no, thank you for having me, and congratulations on the baby. Your body is snatched to the gods the way it's supposed to be.
We're working on that.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the whole journey, because it's just beautiful. Not all of us can have kids, and you got something that a lot of us want, at least for myself. So, you are absolutely gorgeous. With everything that you're going through. So enjoy. And then I want to hear the story about you being in the entertainment business one of these days.
Yes, I will definitely touch base with you so we can talk about that. And I was also on a journey to having my baby. So I definitely feel that. So I'm grateful. And like you said, I'm enjoying the journey because you're right. Estamos locas para tener hijos.
Yes.
Now I'm like, but yes, thank you again, Sharon, for being here. Mujerones, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. We will see you guys next week.